As the world prepared to usher in a new year, Times Square was alive with its usual energy. Blinding lights, thrumming music, and the electric buzz of millions eagerly awaiting the iconic ball drop. The crowd stretched beyond what the eye could see. A sea of humanity cloaked in winter coats, party hats, and glowing accessories, their breath misting in the frigid air. Among them was Martin, a television producer responsible for ensuring the broadcast went smoothly. Martin had overseen this event for over a decade, but this year felt different. The ball itself, a technological marvel of over 2,688 Waterford crystal triangles, gleamed with an otherworldly shimmer under the floodlights. The engineers had insisted everything was functioning perfectly. Yet Martin couldn't shake the feeling that something was off. As midnight approached, the countdown timer on the screen ticked down without a hitch. In the control room, Martin directed the camera angles, ensuring every moment was captured in glorious high definition. The crowd erupted into cheers as the final minute began. 60, 59, 58. The people chanted. But at 55, the ball froze mid-descent. Panic surged through Martin's chest. He barked commands into his headset. "What's going on? Why did it stop?" Quote. A voice crackled back. "No idea, boss. The rig's unresponsive. Diagnostics show no errors." The crowd grew restless. The chanting faltered. People began pulling out their phones, confused by the sudden halt in the festivities. Then the ball began to glow. It was subtle at first, a faint pulsing light that grew stronger with each passing second. The crystals refracted the light into kaleidoscopic patterns that danced across the buildings and faces of the crowd. Whispers of awe replaced confusion as everyone stared upward. And then, without warning, the ball spoke. It wasn't a sound, exactly, but a voice that resonated within the minds of every person present. "Your time is ending," it said. The words sent a shockwave through the crowd. Some screamed, others froze, and a few dropped to their knees. In the control room, Martin's team stared at their monitors in disbelief. The broadcast continued. The glowing ball and its eerie message streamed into millions of homes worldwide. "What the hell is this?" Martin muttered. The voice returned, louder this time. "Your calendars have been reset. The old world is gone. The new era begins." The ball, now pulsating like a massive heart, began to descend again. Not slowly, as tradition dictated, but at an alarming speed. It crashed to the ground in a burst of light that engulfed Times Square, leaving everyone momentarily blind. When the light receded, the scene had transformed. The buildings were gone, replaced by towering spires of crystalline structures that hummed with energy. The people, too, had changed. Their faces glowed with an unearthly luminescence, and their bodies seemed to ripple as if not entirely solid. Martin staggered backward, his breath caught in his throat. The control room was no longer there. He stood in the middle of the square, surrounded by the transformed crowd. The air crackled with strange energy, and above them, the sky shimmered with stars that seemed closer than they had any right to be. A figure emerged from the light. A being of pure radiance, its form shifting and flowing like liquid fire. It looked down at them and spoke in the same voice that had come from the ball. "You are the chosen ones," it said, "to rebuild, to begin anew. The old year is no more. The old time is no more. This is the dawn of eternity." The crowd stood in stunned silence as the being extended a hand. A wave of warmth passed over them, and Martin felt his body begin to dissolve into light. He wanted to scream, to run, to do anything but stand there. But he couldn't move. And then, just as quickly as it began, the world disappeared. The broadcast signal cut out. Television screens around the globe went black. Those who had been watching at home sat in stunned silence, wondering if what they'd seen was real, or just an elaborate hoax. But for those who had been in Times Square that night, there was no question. They were gone. Lost to a new world where time itself had ceased to exist. The last ball drop had come and gone. And with it, so had humanity.